Well, we're at 4:02 already.
Wait for Sam, I guess, or?
Yeah.
But maybe not. Did she? Oh. I asked her the other day. Well, yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. This Committee of the Whole Society's meeting is called to order at 4:03 on November 14th, 2023. Council would like to acknowledge the Ucluelet on whose traditional territories the District of Ucluelet operates. Audience members and delegates are advised that this proceeding is being video recorded and broadcast on YouTube and Zoom, which may store data on foreign servers. Are there any late items? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Councillor Anderson? Councillor Kennington? All in favor? That carries. Thank you for joining us today. Local community groups have been invited to provide an update on their group's activities. I will call your society's name, and if there is a representative here from the group, please feel free to provide us with an update. Please keep your presentation to 5 minutes. This time limit may be extended by council resolution. Members of council may ask questions at the end of each presentation. And I have been asked to move Tourism Ucluelet up to the top of the list. Does anyone else have a time crunch that needs them to go sooner rather than later? Okay. So we'll start with Tourism Ucluelet. Welcome, Denise. That mic may have to be turned on.
Okay. Oh, it is on. Okay, I'll just make sure that I'm always standing too far away from this thing. Yeah. Hello, Your Worship in Council, and thank you for moving me up to the top of the list. Just I have some other commitments. So, Tourism Ucluelet, I guess, kind of a few things have changed over the last few weeks versus what we were looking at presenting. For the organizations that don't know, I'm actually leaving Tourism Ucluelet at the beginning of December, and I will be moving to the Ministry of Tourism, Arts, Culture, and Sport as a policy analyst. And so after 10 years of working with everybody, I just felt that it was important to kind of come and just let everybody know that that's sort of where we are. The board will be holding a retreat this weekend, and the direction is going to slightly shift because now it's about finding my replacement as well as what the future of Tourism Ucluelet will look like, just based on the goals that we had set in our 5-year plan for next year. So in the spring, there will be some more information that I'm sure, as Mayor McEwen, as a member of the board of directors, can either share, or the new ED will come in and introduce themselves. But in the meantime, part of the reason why I wanted to come in person is not only to share that information, but just the granting program that Tourism Ucluelet provides to organizations within the community that offer visitor-facing experiences or information is something that we do on an annual basis. And I usually participate in this conversation should anybody have any questions. And I just want to confirm that that is still a conversation that the board is having and will be pursuing or will be continuing on for the next year. We were looking at tweaking it slightly to have more of a sustainable focus, but in light of the current changes, we're just going to keep that process moving on as we've had it in the past. But and that information will be coming out at the beginning of the year for any organization that is looking for funding to support in their marketing efforts for awareness of the events and activities or programming that they have going on. So that was really the intent of me coming and and just saying thank you to everybody. And just so council is aware, I am submitting a delegation for December 7th, and I will be, one of the last things that I'll be doing is presenting the 2024 tactical plan for Tourism Ucluelet to council on that day. So yeah, but if anybody has any questions or
Well,
I'm
thank
happy to
you.
answer them.
Thank you, and congratulations on the new position.
Thank you. Yeah.
We may be dealing with you on that level.
Yeah, exactly. In a completely different capacity.
Exactly. Yeah. Any questions for Denise? No, that's great. Thank you for the update. And
Yeah.
when is your last day with TU?
December 4th.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will be starting the new job December 11th. Yeah. No rest for the wicked.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Redfish Restoration Society. And some of these people may be on Zoom, so Miss McCullough, if you can take a look.
We have, I think we have Redfish online here. I'll just allow them to talk.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm not sure how to turn my camera on, but I'll just speak via audio.
And who do we have?
I am Mara, and I'm here representing Redfish Restoration.
Great. If you can't turn your camera on, then we'll accept your verbal report.
Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I just seemed to mute me for a second there.
Oh,
I never knew to be upside down.
we see you, but you're upside down.
Okay, I will maybe just stop the videos. That seems as it might be a little bit distracting.
It is good to look at things in a different light sometimes, but
You know, that's a really good point. Okay, so yeah, as a lot of you, I'm sure, are aware, Redfish has been working with the Heshquit, Hauset, Ucluelet, Ucluelet, and Toquak nation governments since 1995, working towards ecological restoration. And as a little bit of an update as to what we've been up to lately, one big project we've been working towards sourcing funding for is hoping to find a new home for Redfish, building a place that we want to call the Redfish headquarters. So this will allow us to expand our interpretive center and provide more opportunities for education in the community. For this, we're hoping to connect with various other nonprofits in town, such as Raincoast Education, the Aquarium, Thorn Creek Hatchery, form lots of partnerships and work together to provide educational programming. This project, we're hoping, will draw more visitors to our communities as well and provide benefits to residents too. We also really love the idea of having a year-round and indoor area that people can go to kind of experience education and explore the diversity of our beautiful land that we get to live on. Outreach and community education is a very important part of our organization. We are hoping to expand our educational opportunities outside of this as well and focus on providing programs in our nearby Indigenous communities, such as Distanis, Eswista, Apitsit, Hatatsu, and Moktasis. And we're planning to engage with Indigenous youth particularly, hopefully offering workshops for skill development in the restoration sphere. We have other projects ongoing throughout Clayoquot and Barkley Sound. We have just started work in the Upper Kennedy watershed. Our field crew is hard at work brushing and will start planting soon as well, over 34 hectares in the area. In the Tranquil watershed, we have installed a large self-ballasting log jam structure. And this is something that we plan to build on next year and install 5 more. In the Atleo watershed, we are working on doing some thinning and limbing with some fallers out there. This allows more light in, penetrating the forest. We're also doing some more planting there as well. Between Atleo and Tranquil watersheds, we're planning to plant around 10,000 trees. In the Heshquit watershed, we are continuing our slope stability project. And looking back again to the Kennedy watershed, where our team has been completing some swims in the lake there, as well as in Nament and Clemens rivers to count adult fish returning to spawn. We've been working lately with the district of Tofino. We are doing some mapping of sensitive ecosystems in the district, such as wetlands, continuous mature forest corridors, and riparian areas. At our office here in Yuki, lots of our redfish staff members are busy writing grant applications and starting on report writing for this year's work. Our team at the Redfish Supply Co. is getting ready for holiday shopping season and working on building up our interpretive room with more resources for people to come in and learn. Something else that was really meaningful that we were lucky to partake in last week was a workshop hosted by Anita Tucci from Ucluelet Nation. This workshop was focused on being a trauma-informed workplace, and Anita discussed with us the impacts of generational trauma. She also helped us create personalized wellness plans to help us care for our emotional, mental, physical, social, and spiritual health. We were really so grateful. Our entire team almost was able to participate in this workshop, and I'd really recommend something like this or this particular workshop to any workplace. It was really quite amazing. That's kind of our update there, but if anyone has any questions at all for me, feel free to ask. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks, Mara. Any questions from council? I have one. Will you be open on Midnight Madness?
We absolutely will. We are working on some plans right now for what the evening will look like and getting some musical guests from the community to play, so we're very excited. We hope we see you all there.
Great, thank you for that. All right, we'll move on to the Ucluelet and Area Child Care Society.
Just kidding. Thank you for having us. My name is Mary Ruff.
I'm Janessa Olson. We're the co-chairs of the Ucluelet and Area Child Care Society.
So as some of you may know, there have been many changes within our organization over the past few months. In late May of this year, following the resignation of all previous board members, a group of 6 dedicated parents came together to form a whole new board of directors. Each of us decided to step forward and ensure the society could continue operating and to uphold the values and mission that make our daycare a vital part of our community. Also, after 8 wonderful years, Kathy DeVries has taken a step back from managing the daycare, and we can't thank her enough for her many years of dedication and hard work. She's been kind to continue working remotely as our office manager for a few months, but we're currently seeking a dedicated full-time daycare manager to oversee the day-to-day operations of our society. So we are seeking somebody, if anybody knows anybody. Also, okay. Is that better? I have to really get in there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Get in there.
So as a community, we do owe thanks to my employer, the Island Work Transitions, Inc., who have generously donated a significant amount of my time as the West Coast Community Liaison to leading our board during this time of transition. Childcare is one of the 3 major issues affecting our workforce on the West Coast. The other 2 I consider to be housing and transportation, which we can talk about at a different time. Accessibility too, right? So the inadequate supply of childcare spaces in our community is a major source of underemployment and a contributor to our local labor shortage. Our wait list currently has 42 children on it. 42 children, and 40 of these children are under 3 years old.
Yeah, there was a baby boom. So on that note, we're happy to report that we are in the final stages of working to open our new infant toddler center, Little Beans. Along with our partner, the Ucluelet Co-op, we are proud to announce that our new facility in the heart of our town will be licensed to care for up to 12 children, 3 years old and under. Thanks to the BC New Spaces grant, we were able to do renovations on the building, previously used as the Visitor Information Center. Renovations included a new diaper change area, nap room, closing off the front porch and backyard, as well as structural and safety upgrades. We will be announcing an opening date soon and would be honored if you would all join us to celebrate this vital achievement when the time comes. Our current programs operating out of the Ucluelet Community Center include our group daycare program. That's Monday through Friday. We have 20 children. Multi-age program is Monday through Thursday. We have 8. We are not currently running an out-of-school program. We were able to do so this summer. We are grateful to the district for providing us the facility, and we appreciate the consistent support and professionalism that's displayed by the recreation staff here. You can talk about our staff.
Okay, so our current staff consists of 2 early childhood educators, and we have 1 early childhood educator who has their infant toddler certificate, and she is going to be our wonderful manager of the Little Beans facility. Additionally, we have 3 ECE assistants who recently completed training and practicums and are just awaiting their ECE certificates. We have 1 ECE assistant, 2 responsible adults, and 1 contract cleaner. And so thanks to support from our community, we were recently able to treat them to an appreciation dinner at Black Rock, which was much needed for them and much appreciated on their part. So now, in order to operate at full capacity with our 12 spots at our infant toddler center that we're opening, we will require more staff with ECE certification, and ideally with the additional infant toddler certification. So we as a board are eager to support people interested in getting into the field with finding funding for training opportunities. So great news from the BC government is that they recently announced an additional $2 an hour wage enhancement for ECEs. So now the median income for ECEs in BC will be $28 an hour starting in December. And so now we are able to subsidize ECE wages by a total of $6 an hour. So we are so proud and grateful to be able to offer our staff wages that more accurately reflect their hard work and the essential role that they play in society as educators. And we are hopeful that this will encourage more people to enter into and stay in the field.
Providing affordable daycare services is at the heart of our society's mission and our values. We're still waiting for the BC government to confirm when we will begin to receive funding for the $10 a day daycare. But as of December 1st of last year, we were able to reduce our fees from $39.34 a day to $22.40 a day. And parents with a combined income of less than $110,000 a year are able to apply for additional subsidies. As a board, we understand the vital role that consistent, high-quality, affordable childcare plays in our community. We're committed to working diligently to provide the best possible services while fostering a nurturing and supportive environment for the children, the staff, and the parents. The new board is looking forward to working closely with the District of Ucluelet and other community partners in the coming years in order to achieve our goals and create even more childcare spaces in our community. Did you hear that we have 42 kids on our wait list? And the parents don't ask us at all when they see us around town how things are going every second. We do have a little bit of a wish list that we thought we'd share. We're looking for some donations for the new center space. We're looking for gravel for the backyard and potentially sod in the spring, a storage shed, signage for our parking lot, and a name sign for our center, which is Little Beans. It's very cute, right? a good vacuum cleaner if anyone has an extra one around, some toys. We're looking for an early childhood educator with infant toddler preferably, and a daycare manager. So that's our wish list if anyone hears this. And I think that's everything that Mary and I have. Thank you for listening to our update.
Thank you, Mary and Jade. That was wonderful news. And I would love to be there at the ribbon cutting for the new facility. That would be awesome.
Hopefully soon. We'll let you know.
Like within this year, maybe?
Potentially.
Great.
Yeah. Like we're so close.
Great.
Where's that fire chief?
Yeah.
Where's the fire chief?
Yeah. We just need an inspection real quick. But yeah, soon.
Awesome. Any questions from
Any more
council?
questions?
I'm just going to say, I know on your wish list you have gravel. I do believe that we could have a conversation with Joey and Sean out at Robbins, because, random gravel sometimes turns up in places if they know that you need it and what type and how much.
Okay. Great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Get in touch with
Not that I put that on.
You just announced it on YouTube and Zoom.
Right?
Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you.
Next is Alberkayquat Health Network. There's Marcy. Hi, Marcy.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me today. Sorry I couldn't be there in person, but we've got a lot of reports and deadlines going as already. But just wanted to preemptively thank the Ucluelet Area Child Care Society folks for priming my presentation. So I'm Marcy DeWitt. I'm the coordinator for the Alberkayquat Health Network, and we work around the social determinants of health in the Alberkayquat. So that is on the West Coast, in the Alberni Valley, and in the Barclay communities as well. And we have been working around many of the items that Mary mentioned: childcare, poverty reduction, housing, transportation are all areas that we touch on in our work. And I've presented to council numerous times around our poverty reduction work. Just a quick update. We have moved forward with a UBCM grant in order to work on equity in the region. So we have been offering our Decolonize First workshops with partners participating throughout the region. We've had our first cohort, and our second cohort for the Decolonize First workshops will be starting this Thursday. So looking forward to those, as well as the opportunity to host at least one more in the new year. We've also been working on a workshop to look at stigma and destigmatization within our region. So talking about some of these big issues in our communities around health and well-being, and how housing and mental health access and health access impacts people's health as well as the health of our community. So that will be coming up in 2024. And we're pleased to say that our Communities Building Youth Futures work that is nested under our poverty reduction strategy has continued. And to this date, we've managed to bring in just under $700,000 to the region to look at youth capacity building. Most recently, our team was successful in bringing in $50,000 to look at the development of youth safe spaces. So taking from the model that is and has been functional in Ucluelet for quite some time with the Uki Youth Room, and ensuring that youth across our region have access to a safe space after school at least a few days a week. So we have one safe space up and running in Tofino, another set to be running in Ucluelet communities, and are hopeful for at least one more community in our West Coast communities. Additionally, Alberni Valley and Barclay have set up similar processes. Other work that we have been doing is around transportation and health equity. So as many people know, we've been working closely with the ACRD to bring local tables into the conversation around transportation planning. and are hopeful that we will have a transit service between Ucluelet, Tofino, Itatsu, and Tayastanis in the new year. So expected sometime in 2024. And while that is a scaled down version, while we see if we can get BC Transit's attention again, it will be something for us to at least increase access, health equity, and access to basic needs like groceries for communities that don't have access to that at this time. And lastly, around transportation, I've been working with the Island Health Rural Contracts folks to look at opportunities to reinstate a service similar to Wheels for Wellness. So as we know, that program ceased in January 2023, and we have been working hard to look at securing the funds and ensuring that a program similar to that, so from a person's front door to any medical appointment 60 kilometers or more from their front door. That program should be hopefully up and running as well in the new year. The RFP for that pot of funds that was secured went out this October. And I think that is likely it. That's quite a number of updates since our last. And again, thank you for your participation and I guess voice in assisting and advocating and influencing around these decisions.
Thank you, Marcy, for that report. That's really good news about the substitute for Wheels for Wellness. I hadn't heard that yet, so that's excellent. Councillor Anderson and myself are both on the decolonization workshop this coming up Thursday, so that'll be really interesting. And looking forward to the transportation locally on the West Coast for starting up, I think, early January as an interim service. Any questions for Marcy from Council? No. That's thank you for your report. And say hi to Poe for me, right beside you there.
She's waiting for her walk.
Of course. Okay, thanks, Marcy.
I think you have me next as well.
Oh, West Coast. Okay, that's why you're still here. West Coast Inland Search and Rescue. Welcome back, Marcy.
Absolutely. As always, I'm doing my back-to-back reports. So for West Coast Inland Search and Rescue, I'm joining today as the president and one of the search managers for the team. We don't have too much to report. This year we have seen an increased call volume, as I've mentioned in past reports. Over COVID, and then this last year we were seeing a reduction in the amount of callouts that we were experiencing, but that has been climbing back up. So we've had 10 so far this year, with some mutual aid to other communities as well, which means we travel out to go help our neighboring teams. We do have an intake of 12 new members. I think as any organization that relies on volunteers knows, we do require a regular intake of volunteers, as many people are very busy in our region. So we're excited to be welcoming in and training 12 new members, and that will be taking place over the next 6 months while we get them through their 90-hour ground search and rescue certification. And outside of that, we've been really pleased with the training on our team provincially. We've had a number of members who have advanced in their leadership roles within the team. So we have 2 new team leaders, 1 certified rope technician, and a number of other team members who've had the opportunity to attend some of our leadership training. And for West Coast Inland Search and Rescue, I think that's all for now.
Great, thank you, Marcy. Any questions for Marcy? No? All right, have a nice walk.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Food Bank on the Edge.
Thanks, Abby. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Martin. I'm with the Food Bank on the Edge here in town, and I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I thought, I could talk about holiday stuff. But last week, I attended the launch of the 2023 Vital Signs. And as I was looking in here, because we are in here, a striking statistic that I thought was interesting. So in the summer, when I was talking to Erica about doing the vital signs, my statistics that I gave her were based on the previous, 6 or 7 months. And on the average number of individuals, this is not hampers that go out, but it's our hampers representing so many individuals. And I saw this and I was like, wow, because it was 145 people per month. That was in the summer. So since then, we have a computer program. It's called Link to Feed. It's throughout the food banks network. And I can get a report generated every month because it tracks our usage, hamper visits, etc. And the stunning part of this is that in August, September, and October, we have now increased 30%. So we are over 200 individuals per month that we are seeing consistently get food help from us. So that increase seems really significant. Usually our numbers do go up in the winter a little bit. They fluctuate some in the summer because of our seasonal employee kind of status. But I was just and it's amazing because some days, I've been with the food bank 13 years, and there have been some days during this period of time where we have literally run out of all of our produce that gets donated. We've had to give canned vegetables because it hasn't happened often, but I see that this is a trend, okay? So I'm just putting that out there just for FYI. I thought it was kind of a striking change in a very short period of time. So that said, I do want to talk about our upcoming holiday happenings. And we have an article coming out in the paper tomorrow just to share all the holiday things that this is our time of year. This is the time of year when food banks get donations. We get an influx of money. We have several opportunities for the community to donate to us. The first of which is the Advent calendar, which Councillor Hoare sponsors through the co-op. And that starts, I think, this weekend. And so basically it's a little one item a day highlighted that people can, maybe next time they go shopping at the co-op, they can pick up a few of the items on the list. They can leave the donation in the co-op donation bin that we have at the Food Bank on the Edge. So there's that. And then our annual Stuff the Cruiser event, which is held in conjunction with the RCMP, is going to be on December 9th. It's in the parking lot of the co-op, and we give shoppers a shopping list. And this is the opportunity for us to get an influx of non-food items, because we don't spend money on non-food items, like personal care items, detergent, soaps, that kind of thing. So we give shoppers a list, and we let them shop for us if they feel like it. So, and then we stuff the RCMP cruisers. We usually stuff them at least 3 times, and we empty it out the food bank, come back and load it up again. So that's going to be a fun day. It always is. And then our Christmas hamper this year is Thursday, December 21st. And we're grateful that the recreation department lets us use the rec hall. It's a perfect venue because we it takes 2 days. We set up one day, and then the next day is the hamper building and hamper distribution. So it's a fairly festive event. And people love to volunteer for it. I kind of try to keep the crew pretty tight because it's a very hectic day, but we have a lot of fun. And yeah, so anybody wants to come out and shop for us, it's always a fun day. So yeah, that was pretty much what I came to talk about. If you have any questions.
Thanks, Chris. Any questions?
It's not a question, but I'm just going to chat about Reverse Advent for those that don't know it. It's a gift giving calendar instead of an Advent where you get something. This one highlights a product every day from this Sunday, November 19th, through to the Stuff the Cruiser Day on the 9th in December. And we highlight an item, and I'll throw it up over social media. You don't have to get all the items on the list. You don't have to, that it's just things that the food bank needs. We work up the list together every year, change it, tweak it. This year we've added gluten-free, what I think of as Sean's Day or Abby's Day, the gluten-free day, to throw a gluten-free cracker or something in the mix. But it's just to kind of highlight some things that maybe are not the usual things that get donated to the food bank all the time. So there will be extra copies of the list if you want to pick it up and take a look. And some people like to have the whole list and then they shop the sales over the course of that 3 weeks. There is no, you got to buy this item on this day. There's nothing like that. It's just a list of suggestions. And if you have any questions about it, come find me or find Chris.
Yep. Yeah, we've been doing it a few years, so it's a really good idea. I think it's meaningful because it's things that, like Jen has some items on there that are just like, what was your favorite Christmas treat? Your Christmas candy or whatever. Things that we really don't spend money on luxury items. So this is an opportunity for us to get some special things in to the food bank. So, and for Christmas.
Yeah. So I always buy a box of Crispy Crunch cereal because as a kid, that was like my favorite thing. So there's always one of those that goes in the food bank. But yeah, maybe it was Oreos, maybe it was Toblerone, candy canes, things like that, right? Because there's things like toothbrushes and toothpaste, the non-food items, just to think outside the box a little bit. So
I'd like to add one thing I didn't mention is, so we have the access to the Ucluelet campground sign by the Thornton Motel, and that went up last week. We have increased our hamper projection for our budget by 10% this year because we know we're paying more for food. We're also anticipating an increase in hamper demand. So we've kind of upped those numbers a little bit. So our budget is a little bit, higher than what we would normally do, but it's a necessity. It's definitely, we've seen the differences. So, yeah.
How many hampers do you normally?
Well, we usually have normally we budget for 110 hampers. And our average hamper price that we've kind of have in our heads is about $100 per hamper. Now, mind you, that covers, all the way from single individuals all the way to families of 8 or 9. So it's spread out. I think last year we had 106 go out. And this year we're budgeting for 115 hampers. And our cost per hamper, we've increased it to about $110 just to have that cushion in case we, need it. So
Great. And any update on the new facility?
Well, I think the lawyers are doing stuff now. I hope they're doing stuff. I've, kind of let it go to the lawyers. But yeah, that's moving along. Mr. Rotenberg has been very helpful and very involved. I know he's not here, but I'll put shout out to him because he's been on it. And so then I'm on it and I'm ready. And, so I think we're just waiting for something else to happen and then we'll sign off. And our projected date for receiving our new building is April 1st, 2024.
And you hope it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. We're already 2/3 paid for, so it's being made. Yeah, it's being manufactured and stored for us. So
awesome. That's great news.
Yeah. So either way, whatever happens, we're getting it. We're paying for it. We will get it. So thank you, everybody.
Great. Thanks for your update, Chris.
One quick question, Chris, and I'm just thinking about this because you've got the increased cost for your hampers, and a lot of people don't realize that the food bank actually buys food for the hampers. Like we
buy everything.
Yeah, at the co-op we there's already a pallet set aside and it's starting to collect some of the canned goods and stuff. So you guys accept gift card donations. I know this. Do you have a box or a somewhere for it, or do you need like at the co-op, or?
Well,
how are
we've
we
had
making that?
I think the card will fit in the slot for the little, the
Oh, on the
collection
front- the
thing. I
collection
think it
thing in
does.
the front, okay.
Stuff the Cruiser, one of the things we have on our list is the gift cards, because what Councillor Horst said is true. We don't use any donated food for the Christmas hamper. Everything we buy is fresh, brand new food. We don't empty our shelves for the hamper. We order mountains of food. We put in our turkey chicken order. We're getting 50 turkeys and 50 chickens. I don't even know what, but we buy everything. So again, this is our time of year. Every food bank will tell you this. This is the biggest donating time of year for food banks is right now, the holidays. The CBC Food Bank Day, I think it's going to be December 1st. And the money that comes in there, which has been more money over since COVID, those donations went super high. We get a big chunk of that. And well, even though we're little, it's a big chunk for us. So yeah, that's an important point because people think we were going to empty the food bank for Christmas. No, we don't use anything from our inventory. It all gets purchased first quality. So thank you.
Great. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Up next, we have the Ucluelet Aquarium Society. Welcome, Laura.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I haven't been to one of these in a while, so I'm glad to be back. We've had a very busy year. So I looked at our numbers just before coming down here. We're at 39,153 visitors so far for the year. So I think that this will be the first time that we'll cross the 40,000 mark. Which is the other, I like this statistic. So to add some perspective to that, our July was actually a little bit slower than some years, and we saw nothing out of the norm for August. So all of this growth is happening in the shoulder season. We usually see about 7,000 visitors in July and 7,000 visitors in August. Yeah, so we're growing a lot, and it's in the shoulder season. We've hired some new staff. We're now at 9 full-time year-round positions. For perspective, for the first 5 years of our new building, we were at less than 5 full-time year-round people. So we're getting busier and busier. Again, this year, we delivered the Salmon Trail. This is a program that we did with Redfish Restoration, where we set up a series of stations from Tofino all the way down to Ucluelet, and visitors, if they wanted to take part, would have to go to each booth to get a stamp, and then if they completed each station, then they got a patch. It was our way of trying to educate visitors on the effects that they can have in habitat through tourism. So trying to make visitors a little bit more aware of how they can have fun and keep everything as beautiful as we love it. We also conducted the second year of investigations into our harbor health project. So this is something that we started with our 10-year anniversary in 2022, looking into what makes the Ucluelet Harbor a healthy ecosystem. Right now we're focusing on eelgrass beds. We found that the only investigation into eelgrass was done years ago, and the survey took place in March. The growing season for eelgrass is in June through the end of July. So it's been really fun to do that work so that we have a baseline, and our plan is to redo that in 5 years and then again in 10 years. Eelgrass beds are essential habitat for lingcod, rockfish, salmon, herring, so they're a really important part of our local economy. They're also really important for erosion control, and there's some really cool research that's come out of Hakai talking about how they reduce bacteria and viral communities. So good thing for us to be aware of. We have our annual fundraiser coming up on Saturday if anyone wants to come out and listen to music in the aquarium. And then we will be open for Midnight Madness, and December 2nd is our annual release. So our last day open to the public is November 30th, and then December 2nd we'll release our harbor animals back to the Ucluelet Harbor. We're really happy to host more volunteers from Ocean Bridge, which is a program that's based out of Vancouver with youth from across the country. And we also created 2 high school positions this year. We also did our second year of running a bursary of $10,000 which we gave to the local high school. So we're pretty stoked about that. Our big challenges right now, storage and housing. Also, 1/3 of our staff has children 3 or under, so we're adding to your problem. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's it for me. Any questions?
Thanks, Laura. Questions from council? I'll look forward to the release day. That's always a fun time. Great. Thank you for your update.
Quick question, Laura. The Harbor Health, the eelgrass bed survey, is that information out somewhere or?
Not yet.
Okay.
We've got a woman that's, we took data markers at every half meter. We've got a woman who's making maps for us right now. Yeah. And then this summer we did drone footage to complement that. There are a couple of areas where we weren't able to snorkel or survey by walking, mostly because of bears. So, yeah. So we are using drone footage to, complement that. Yeah.
Great. Thanks again. Next up, we have West Coast Community Resources Society. No? Maybe on Zoom? December 2nd.
Hi, Lori. You are promoted to a panelist whenever you're ready.
Can everyone see and hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm calling in from the unceded and traditional territory of the Ucluelet Nutchat. I apologize for not being there in person. We are just on the tail end of starting our first day of sexual assault response training. We got funding this year to roll out a START program on the West Coast, which is much awaited, and it's something the organization has been prepping and preparing for over the last couple of years. So I'm really happy to share that. We're also ended up having some funding for CISM training, which is critical incident stress management. So we're completing that training this year, which this week as well, which is really exciting. Both programs have, START had 14 individuals there today, and our CISM had about 15 as well, which is really great. Some new programs for us. We did some de-escalation training in the summer that had about 40 community members participate as well. And then I'll just share, we just finished our annual report recently, so I'm just going to share some other program updates. So our transition house had 31 women and 9 children from September 22 to this September 22 in our residential program, offering over 400 overnight stays. We supported an additional 120 individuals who did not necessarily stay over, but got phone call support or got support over the phone. Our Stopping the Violence program exceeds 40 clients over the year. Our community outreach program, which has is supporting and organizes the community Christmas lunch every year, which this year is on December 13th. And we're really grateful for the in-kind donation from the district for that. And also for our partners, BlackRock and the co-op, for their donations and cooking efforts. And that's a Wednesday coming up. So please, it's 11 to 2 that day. So inviting everyone to participate in that. But our community outreach program has done 163 taxes over this year. Our programs do span the whole West Coast, so we service the whole population of over 6,000. So Heshquit to Hot Spring, Heshquit and Howsett, Ucluelet, Ucluelet and Toquart, and as well as the communities of Tofino and Ucluelet. And staff do travel amongst those. And we have I also just want to highlight, we do have a community living program, which has sort of been a very low profile program, but it's our program that helps to support individuals differently abled, or historically known as different special needs. We had 2 new clients this year, so that program is expanding. We have over 350 inclusion activities that we've done since for the last year, and it's a growing program as more and more people become aware of it. And then some of our other programs for our community and youth worker program do include Ucluelet Safe, Secondary School Safe Group, Tribal Journeys, some multi-generation healing workshops that support the Jane Middleton Moss and Anita's. Our staff will support and hold space for the members joining those programs. And we're also really excited by the end of this week, we're going to be submitting an application in collaboration with the district for a potential 5-unit housing, which was really we were supported from Macola, and that's through BC Housing, an application that we're hoping, I actually have a really good feeling about this, that we're going to get this. And then through our Women's Outreach, we're also starting our 16 Days of Activism, which you might see the purple calendars around town. It is starting November 25th and going till December 10th, and is to bring awareness to ending violence. It starts with International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and ends with International Human Rights Day. So there's a walk on Monday, November 27th. That's going to be in Tofino, and then we're meeting at 10:30 at the Tofino office, and it's till 12:30. And then we also will have our Purple Lights campaign. So that's going to be at the co-ops for 2 days. The Tuesday the 28th, you can buy a string of purple lights, and a $50 donation goes to our program and supports the 16 Days of Activism. And then we're going to have our community walk on the 30th in Ucluelet at 10:30 meeting at our office. Yeah, the Thursday. And we have a whole bunch of things. And then we're going to be at the Tofino Co-op selling the purple lights on December 6th. We're going to have a self-defense workshop on the 9th. We're going to have a silent disco on the 2nd. And then we're going to have, So please go ahead and look on our site, on our website, or look for these purple posters around town. Lots going on. I am really impressed. We have 29 staff, 12 programs, and we're really grateful to be in the location as a neighbor of the district recreation department, and sharing all the offices with each other. And thank you for the letters of support as well for our application for BC Housing. Trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I think that's it. Is there any questions?
Thank you, Laurie. Where is your office in Tofino?
Yeah, so our office is on top of the rectory for the Anglican Church, right behind Roy Henry Vickers Gallery. So that's where our SARP training was today. It's tight. It's a very tight space. But we're starting to utilize it more. That's also where we're having some of the youth drop in, some 4 to 6 is where they've started to have that youth drop in space as well. So we're really we're just utilizing that space all the time. And the odd other individual, like in the community that offers free services, some of the government agencies that provide, MCFD that provides free services have utilized that space as well if it's open and not being utilized by our staff.
Great. I didn't know you had a Tofino office, so that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the word out there more on social, just out in the community.
And you mentioned your annual report. Has that just been released?
Yeah, we just released that had our AGM in September. So it looks like this, and I can bring some copies to you guys at your district office.
Oh, that'd be great if we could have those in our mailboxes.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Any questions from councillors? Thank you for your update.
Yeah, thank you guys for all your support.
You bet.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
Okay, next up is Seaview Seniors Housing Society, Forest Glen. Boy, some of these societies have so much going on, I can't even write fast enough to jot all those notes down.
If there's anybody representing Seaview Seniors Housing Society Forest Glen, if you could raise your hand on Zoom and I'll promote you to a panelist.
I know I spoke to Kathy yesterday and she said she wasn't going to be able to attend today, so.
Okay, well, we can move on to the next one and see if anybody pops on. Next up is Clayoquot Biosphere Trust.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, I'm Janessa Dorter. I'm here on behalf of the Clayoquot Biosphere Trust. Yeah, it's been a busy fall for our team, so I'll just give a brief snapshot of our work over the past month or so. So I'll start by giving a quick rundown about the regional forum that was facilitated by CBT last month. So this forum was a day-long meeting and over 65 people representing 25 groups convened both virtually and in person on colloquiate territory at Tinwis. And these groups included local governments, First Nations, organizations like Parks Canada, and many of the other NGOs doing great work across the region. And the focus of this forum was to discuss environmental research, stewardship, restoration, and sustainable development activities happening in the region, and really to promote collaboration and increase communication across these groups. So we really appreciate the support from everyone who attended, and I've heard some great feedback that there's interest to gather like this more often. So we're planning to facilitate another one of these in the spring with the aim to have this become a semi-annual event. A few other updates from the rest of the team. We're in the planning stages to open many of our grants early in the new year. So the plan is to have these open in February, but neighborhood small grants, which is a bit of a different stream, just closed a few weeks ago. And the focus of NSG this year is on culture. And the committee is really excited to share that it was one of the most successful years yet, and 33 applications have been approved. What was mentioned earlier already is the 2023 vital signs that was just released. So that's really exciting for our team to have that out in the community. So pick up a copy from around town, or check out the digital report on our website. And any groups here that have a physical space can request that we drop off a stack at their office if they'd like that. And an exciting highlight in this report is the recalculation of the living wage, which has increased from last time to $26.51 an hour. So lots of really great information in the report. So hopefully you can have a chance to sit down and have a read of that. And then looking ahead to the holiday season, the CBT will be running the Giving Catalog again this year as a way to support local organizations. So yeah, stay tuned for more information on that. That's it for my quick update.
Wonderful. Thank you, Janessa. Any questions from council?
Just a quick one, Janessa. Do you know where in Ucluelet we could pick up a copy of the vital signs? Because I don't have one yet.
Yeah, for sure. Our team just received the first batch, so we're sort of limited right now, but the next batch should come early next week, and we'll be putting them out around town. I know local organizations that have a storefront will get one. I think the co-op should have a stack. I haven't looked at the spreadsheet of locations yet, but we're going to try to cover all of our bases. And if you want some at the district office too, I'm pretty sure that's on the list.
Sounds good.
That would be great. I was going to ask that. Yeah, perfect. No other questions from council? All right, well, keep up the good work, and we'll look forward to seeing those grants open up in the spring.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, next up I have Pacific Rim Arts Society. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm a terrible public speaker, but I'll do the best that I can.
Just speak right into the mic if you can.
We've actually had a pretty good year, considering that I'm the only paid employee at the Art Society, and we are running 4 main programs as well as a lot of other programs on top of that. The good thing is we did get some funding, so I have a call out for an admin assistant, so hopefully have somebody hired by November 30th. Our AGM is on November 19th, and I'm excited about that because our board of directors has gone from 8 to 3. And so trying to run a board of directors with only 3 people, and usually only 2 of them are actually on the meetings. So it makes it pretty hard to move forward. But we do have about 6 names who have stepped up and said that they are interested in being on the board of directors. So I'm feeling rather hopeful about that. And to get some other assistance in the office will be very helpful in trying to get everything done that we try to do for the communities and within the communities. Most of our events went over quite well last year, or this past year. I say last year because our year ends partway through the year. We did have some obstacles with a summer festival, partly because I was called away, family emergency, and partly because we didn't have enough people kind of to spear the committee. When you're down to 3 board members, you only end up with 1 committee member. So that makes it really tough. That's another great thing that's happening for next year. We've decided to hire 1 coordinator to run the 4 main events. The contract has already been written, and she will be signing that sometime this week. So it means we'll have 1 person who will be heading those 4 main projects, which is the Missoula Children's Theater, Art Splash, Summer Festival, and the Cultural Heritage Festival. So instead of scrambling prior to each event, looking for somebody to do that, we will already have somebody in place, which makes me feel like we're at least, 6 months to a year ahead of the game, whereas in the last year and a half, I've been feeling like we're about 3 years behind. So we are catching up, and I'm feeling rather hopeful for the next year coming up. We do have our dates already for most of the programs. So Missoula is January 15th to 20th, and it's Treasure Island. It happens in Tofino this year because we rotate communities. So 1 year it's Ucluelet, 1 year it's Tofino, to give all the kids an opportunity. Art Splash is from March 15th to March 24th. Summer Festival will start July 1st, but we don't actually have the dates yet. We're waiting for the new board of directors so we can actually have a committee to help organize a more successful summer festival. The Cultural Heritage Festival is September 15th to 21st, and we are partnering with Thornton Creek Hatchery this year. And so the Cultural Heritage Festival will be all about hatchery life, which is quite exciting, and they're quite excited about that as well. And I think that's about it.
Thank you, Kelly. It is a challenge when you have so few board members to get stuff done.
It's a big challenge for
absolutely, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for the dates of the next year's events. That's good to know.
In place already.
Yeah, and that would be on your website as well, probably.
I think most of them are updated so far. There was a little bit of a communication gap between myself and the web people, but I think we've got most of them straightened out. So I'm hoping they're all on there now.
Awesome, that's great.
Yeah.
Questions from council?
I just wanted to throw some kudos out. There's been some really amazing art shows at the Orange Door Gallery, and I just love having a chance to see what people are doing in this town. So,
yeah, it's a great opportunity for the members to be able to showcase their art.
And what days is that open, Kelly?
The gallery?
Yeah.
Well, right now it says random days
Oh.
because with myself being the only person there, it has to be open on my work days, and I don't really want to be there 7 days a week. So unless we get volunteers who step in, then it's open 7 days. But right now it's usually about 4 days a week.
All right, that's great. Thank you for your update.
Okay.
And your AGM is on the 13th?
November 19th.
Oh, 19th.
November 19th at the Black Rock from 3 to 5.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next up I have Pacific Rim Rotary Club.
That's me.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
That's me also. I'll just give you a brief update. So basically, the things that we've been doing is pancake breakfast, which we partnered with the district for, which happens during Yuki days. The soapbox derby, pumpkins in the mist. Also, we partner with the rec commission to do that. The puzzles we have been doing. This is the second year of doing a Rotary puzzle. The first year was a Marla Thirsk, and that sold out really, really well. This year it's a tidal pool, and it has not been selling as well, even though we're trying to promote it as an educational puzzle, because what we did was put a piece on the back of the puzzle to show you the names of specific things that are within that tidal pool. So we're just trying to find different ways to promote that a little bit more. So we're not going to do another one right now until we figure out how we can get this one moving. Chowder Chowdown was our first year this past year, and that went over pretty good. We kind of running out of volunteers near the end because so many of us were participating in the parade. So we kind of left just a few volunteers to manage the rest of it, though, while the rest of us ran off to get in line for the parade. So we're going to kind of look at different time slots for that so that everybody can be there to help and then leave to go. The big thing, beach cleanups, we've been doing that. We partner with Surfrider for the cleanup of the Earth Day, but with Kevin Bradshaw. What's his? Hello Nature. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't write it down. It just blew right out of my head. And the big thing that is going on is the disc golf course. I don't personally have a lot of information about that. I was hoping Jeff Anderson would be here because he's kind of the spearhead of that. It is coming along really well. He's getting pretty excited about the progress that they're making. And the discs are all here, and he wants to get busy selling those. They've just put a package together to sell sponsorship for the holes, and I know that 3 of the holes are already sponsored, so that leaves 6 holes left to still be sponsored. And yeah, other than that, I think that's about it for Rotary.
Great. Will there be ribbon cutting when the disc course is completed? Abby's nodding her head, yes.
Yeah, there will be an opening for sure. It'll be, kind of like a barbecue and selling of discs and a general opening. And
in the spring, I assume?
Yeah. Jeff kind of wanted to have one a soft opening in November, but that just isn't going to happen because there's just too much stuff that still needs to be done.
Gotcha. Yeah. And we look forward to having you back at the Whale Festival for the Chowder Chowdown.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thanks for your update. Any questions from council? Nope. Okay, you're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the Chamber of Commerce. Next up. Welcome, Josh.
Hello, yes, Josh Jenkins, the Ucluelet Chamber of Commerce. So right now we have Midnight Madness coming up right away. That chamber is sort of spearheading and helping organize. Everybody sort of does their own their own thing as well for it, but that's going to be on Friday, November 24th, and and it's part of our Support Local campaign that we do every holiday season. There will be other things that we'll be doing along that line as well, trying to help remind everybody to be shopping within the town and try to keep the money in the neighborhood. We have a lot of businesses participating in Midnight Madness. We're going to be doing a stamp or sticker card with all the participating businesses on there that the shoppers can go around and get filled and then enter the draw that will be having a prize pool that are prizes donated from a number of different businesses around town. And we're hoping for a good busy holiday season, shopping season for the local businesses. Much needed this year. And we had a successful completion of the Edge to Edge Marathon, partnering with the district and Parks and Recreation, and everything went smoothly on that, quite successful. And just a great event to be bringing to the community in the shoulder season. Try to help keep visitors coming to town in times that we need it. We also worked with the Redfish Restoration Society for the first Salmon Fest finale or Salmon Run event in September. It was successful despite the horrible weather. Got completely rained out, but still had a pretty decent turnout, and hopefully that will become an annual event. It was well received, and everybody really enjoyed themselves, and it was a good time in general. So we appreciate you okaying us for that event, and it's been great to be able to partner with a local nonprofit, and we're looking to create a lot more opportunities with regional nonprofits to collaborate with, and also to help facilitate collaborations between. And we have right now working on the Alberkayquat Economic Recovery and Resiliency Initiative. That's the one that we're teaming up with Tofino and Port Alberni Chambers and other stakeholders and rights holders, that including the nations and everybody that we're working to. We'll be working with the Whistler Center right now that we're working with, and be utilizing strategic interviews, focus groups, and other data collection to develop a robust report on the effects and damages from the Highway 4 closures and its aftermath and the continued issues that we've had from that. And probably have more closures coming from that as well. We're going to develop recommendations for the continuity plans for businesses, and it should be completed in the spring of 2024. And the action plans will be to develop for ways for the chamber and other organizations that can continue to assist our communities in sustainability efforts, which is why the Chamber of Commerce has decided to develop a project to follow this one, as we have mentioned before, as we saw the opportunity to be able to continue that work. And we have done the application for the grant for REDIP for that. So we successfully filed for that, and hopefully will be successful in receiving it as well. And that will be able to launch our Ucluelet Economic Readiness Strategy project, which will be a 2-year project to start with. And we'll be we'll be assembling a working group to strategize and continually adapt data collection, reporting, and deliverables to help Ucluelet recover from our past economic interruptions and build resiliency and to future economic unpredictability. Being a tourism-based primarily community now, we're obviously very susceptible to fluctuations and things. So we got to continue to find ways to work together to stay sustainable and be as successful as possible. And the planned launch for this project will be in the spring of 2024. So we have more information. We'll have more information to come on that as we develop it. And we're in the process of creating a Mid-Island Chamber Alliance to continue to develop ways to link and strengthen our communities. I'm working with the Parksville Chamber, and we're starting to get some of the other chambers on board. So this is going to be a good collaborative effort to be able to share information and figure out ways to work together and ways to link the different businesses in the different communities that we have so many ties with, the communities of Comox and Parksville, Qualicum, Nanaimo, Port Alberni, Tofino, everybody. We all sort of spend a lot of time in each other's communities, and there's lots of opportunities there for economic development and other ways to collaborate together. So that's a exciting project that we're working on right now. And we're also part of the ACRD Transportation Committee that's looking to advocate for the maintenance of and hopefully fully develop an alternate route in and out of the Alberni Valley. Also part of the advisory process in developing the upcoming interim public transportation system. We're very happy to see this coming to fruition, but we'll continue to advocate for the expansion of this service to better support the needs of our high school kids, visitors, tourism-based employees and businesses that need a little bit more of a robust system. But it's really great to at least see the infrastructure of this interim project coming into fruition. That's great, and very important to our coast, and lots of economic development activities moving forward for the Chamber, as now it's becoming one of our top priorities in the coming years. So that's about it right now.
Great, thank you, Josh. Will there be a business decorating contest as part of Midnight Madness?
Will there be a business? Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Business decorating. Okay, that's oh, good.
Yeah, we got
a special trophy.
Yeah,
awesome.
Special trophy.
Any questions from council? No? Well, thank you, Josh, for your update, and look forward to working with you in the future. So that concludes the organizations I have on my list, but now we can entertain any other group presentations. Would that be multiplex? Okay. Come on up, Carrie.
Thank you for having us. I would like to first acknowledge our Indigenous partners and territories of which the West Coast Multiplex Facility will support. Hashquat, Ahousaht, Ucluelet, Ucluelet, and Toquat in the spirit of truth, healing, and reconciliation. I'm Carrie Ho. I'm the treasurer for the West Coast Multiplex Board. Sean Mills, who is also on the board of directors. Other Ucluelet residents who are on the board is Kiki Lansat and Clint Mack. So the West Coast Multiplex Society is a group of dedicated West Coast locals and volunteers that have, for the past 2 decades, put in a lot of blood and sweat and tears into bringing a multiplex facility to reality for all the West Coast communities. The last year, there's been a lot of stuff going on. We have a significant momentum. We have strategic conversations with our Indigenous partners to ensure the multiplex facility is going to meet everyone's needs. We're working more closely with Ucluelet First Nation on whose traditional ancestry and unceded lands that the multiplex is located, and will be a lead on the project. We have a new logo. I don't know if anyone saw the black and red one. This is designed by Ucluelet artist Yelmer Wenstop, and it has the 2 canoes that represent all 8 communities moving forward in the same path. And it has elements of the mountains and the sun and the ocean, which is representative of our environment. We also had a few current and retired NHL players that came to the West Coast and played ball hockey with kids in Tahistani, which I just learned a new Chinese pronunciation for the community. In August, that was a lot of fun. We're building relationship with private funders to help pay for all the costing reports that we're doing, so we're ready for the grant that we're expecting coming up in the next few months. We have our annual golf tournament, which is our one and only fundraiser every year, and we raised over $45,000 for that in September, and the weather wasn't nice on that event either. We're also working with Recreation Excellence, who is an expert in operating regional recreational facility for rural and remote communities. They are going to help us to hire and train local employees to run the facility once it's up and running. We have been working with TBP Consulting firm. They have been helping us with the overall fundraising strategies. This is to secure government grants as well as private donors to help for the capital fund of the facility. We're also updating our website and working on a campaign case report for more fundraising. We are having regular conversations and updating our MLA Josie Osborne and our MP Gord Johns on the progress of the multiplex facility. And coming out of that conversation, we are working with Gord Johns to have a petition started, and it's up and running now. If you haven't seen it online on our website or social media, it is a petition to advocate for the federal government to increase funding for recreational facility for Gord's riding, which is the West Coast, Port Alberni, and Oceanside. And the West Coast Multiplex facility would fall under that umbrella. So if you haven't seen the petition, I encourage everyone to go sign. It'll be online. We have also started conversations with other potential partners, including Vancouver Island Health Authority, First Nation Health Authority, School District 70, Clackwoods Biospheres Trust, and a few community-based organizations to work together to meet the needs of the region, in particular children, youth, families, and seniors, because we all share the same concern that I've heard from other nonprofit organizations just here now. Hopefully we can work together to, address the growing concern of retaining our citizens. So looking forward, we will continue project planning. We actually have a meeting next week to meet with all the partners to finalize the schematic design report. We want to have it ready so when the grant opens, we can put in a shovel-ready application. And depending on when the grant funding timeline, we're hoping to have construction start as soon as 2025. Anything else I missed?
There are a few things that I'd like to touch on. Some of the personal aspects of what the multiplex can bring to the community. It's been many years of decades of working on this with local people. A couple of things that I've experienced, I've heard stories of. I know of 3 families that I've just recently found out. My son's playing hockey in Port Alberni. I've decided that I'm coaching. We found 3 families that have moved outside of our area for sports itself. In the trust, the BT, the Aquarium Biosphere Trust pamphlet that was sent out, one of the things when asked what youth would want here, number 1 was sports, especially football, volleyball, and an ice rink was one of them. A couple of things that everyone gets stuck on that I've heard of feedback is a lot of people get stuck on the ice rink. It's not just an ice rink. It's a swimming pool. It's a potential walking track for senior citizens in the winter. It's a safe place for them to walk where they don't trip on sticks, and it's a swimming pool that youth, seniors, toddlers, everyone can use, get exercise. It's a health and wellness part of our everyday life that we need to focus on. One of the things this weekend alone, I have we have a practice in Port Alberni on Friday, a game on Saturday. I'm going to Nanaimo for gymnastics for my daughter on Sunday, and then again back to Port Alberni on Monday for another practice. We have 1 really good kilometer of highway. The rest of it is up and down and roller coaster. It would be nice to have a facility like this locally where we can get all 8 communities on board at the same time, where we can get the project rolling and break ground on it. A couple other things that I'd like to touch on. With the pool, lifeguards, I know there's always been talk back and forth of having lifeguards on the beach. I've talked to my daughter, she's 15. Why isn't she, look into lifeguard, learning how to be a lifeguard, stuff like that. And we always have kids at our house. I think up to 15, 20 kids at one time at our house hanging out because they have nothing to do. They have nowhere to go. And they all say the same thing: is if they go into this, where are they gonna work? What are they gonna do? Well, with a pool, a multiplex, it gives them a place, a part-time job, somewhere that they can expand their education on the lifeguarding, and then it can kind of progress from there and hopefully get beaches. I think we've had a couple of drownings this week, or at least one this week on the beach. So just another aspect of people that aren't thinking of it's not just a rink. We need to get around that and look at the whole facility itself. I believe there's a transit proposed transit station right next door, which I know in the past years we've been trying to get transit out here for the communities. If we build a hub for people to go to, for seniors, youth, everyone to go to, that transit will come. We have that location, we have the use for it. A meeting facility, markets, Christmas markets where both communities can join and have one place that they can do arts and historical showings. We can line the halls up. We've been, like Carrie said, we've kind of approached some of the other organizations of trying to gain support and working with other organizations locally. And this is one thing that we could do is we could display some of the local arts. We can display some of the historical showings. We've met with the Historical Society, the Ucluelet Historical Society, and they have a lot of artifacts there that belong to both Tofino and Ucluelet. I think Wickenish Beach would be a great location for it to be displayed. School programs, we're teaming up with the District 70 and the school programs. The amount of talent that is being lost outside of this area is insane, I think, with not having a facility that kids can go to. So we're asking for support from the local councils for all the communities to get together and finally make a move on this. And if we can all get together, I feel that we can apply for the grants as a united group, and we'd have a lot better chance of getting somewhere. And we're ready to break ground. We got the land. We're, like Carrie said, 2025, we'd like to see this happen. I think that's about it. They kind of wind me up and try to let me go, but I'll hold back a little bit. So it's just something that I feel for our youth, for everyone, it's very needed out here. Coming from prairies, every community of 500 more has a rink as a swimming pool, and it's shocking that 8 communities here can't share one. So, thank you.
Thanks, Sean and Carrie. And I agree. I know lots of families that are traveling to Port Alberni all the time for skating, as well as curling. I have some friends that go there all the time to curl, so that it would be great to have that as a regional facility. And if you need a letter of support for a grant, be sure and ask.
And I want to add that the people that are currently traveling are the people that can afford to travel out of the community to access these opportunities.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yes. It's expensive for sure. Any questions from council? Okay, thank you for your perseverance. We really appreciate it. Barb, are you here for the Historical Society? No, I think there's Whale Festival is still online too.
I won't be long then. Just a quick update. Hello, everybody. My name's Barb Gudbranson. I'm the president of the Ucluelet Area Historical Society. So we've had a busy year supporting other nonprofits in the community. Like, we all go to each other's functions and stuff. We've been helping Praz out with some of their events. I think our last one was the Heyday of Logging that we just had a presentation here by Phil Hood and his group. We did a harbor tour this summer, focused on the Japanese villages. There used to be 6 within the inlet. So we did guided tours, and they're very well received. So our group does want to look at continuing the tours, but it's a challenge setting everybody up. vessels and that. So we're looking at getting some more assistance with some people in the community, but we'll look again at trying to host those again next year. Our biggest project right now, as you're probably aware, is the with the Japanese Canadian Legacy Fund application. So we have sent a letter of intent in for an outdoor interpretive center. And we've also met with the District of Ucluelet Planning Department. We've looked at a few sites in town, and we have a site identified that we feel would be perfect location, being that it was very close to a past village for Japanese in the early days. And I think there's a report coming soon to council on the whole project. We will be sending in a grant application to the JCLF within the next couple of months as well. We have a gentleman in town that actually builds in Japanese design that we've been speaking with too about taking on the project with us. We have, what else have we been doing? That I think is the biggest one. We had a few other things we were looking at doing, a Digital Museums Canada grant, but with the Japanese Legacy Fund, it's really taking the majority of the group's time and efforts, reviewing and stuff and getting things underway. Again, we're a small group too, and always looking for volunteers or new board members like everybody else if anyone's interested. I think that is it. Those are our biggest things. It's just time for everyone as usual. Is any questions for the Historical Society part of things?
You're still doing the Mother's Day plant sale?
Yes, we did have a successful Mother's Day plant sale. Great thanks to Katie Devlin, who donated quite a few items this year, and so we recognized her at our event. And yeah, look forward to next year's as well. Anybody that wants to grow plants and donate them for the plant sale, more than welcome. The more the merrier.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Questions from council? Councillor Anderson?
Random question. With the where the lighthouse house used to be down by Amphitrite, is there going to be a presence by the Historical Society in there? Am I wrong on that? I thought I'd heard a rumor on
The Lightkeeper's house you're talking?
Yes, that's right.
Ms. Fortune, do you have an update on that?
I have no idea, so
okay.
Sure, take over, Abby.
Through the mayor, the intent is to be able to have some historical as well for the Wild Pacific Trail and for the Historical Society. And we hope to partner with the Ucluelet Area Historical Society on that and have display boxes and stuff like that in the main area. And there will be a report coming to council soon about that.
Great.
Thank you.
More work. Thanks, Abby. Just kidding.
Great. So some artifacts can be on display there?
That's great. I'd love to get them out of my basement.
Yeah, I bet.
There's that storage problem. Don't have a large basement.
Does the society still have a room in the district office?
We do have the middle portion of the basement. We've hard work with Peter and Claudia and Shirley and crew. We've created a nice little space down there. We still have our humidifier running 24/7, of course, because it's a fairly damp location. So yes, we still have our concerns about storing artifacts, and we worry that we lose artifacts as we grow in age here and our seniors are gone. We lost 2 very important women this year, and we don't want to lose those things. So yeah, so it's always storage.
Right.
Proper storage and humidity control.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, with the small group we have, we're doing as much as possible and maintaining. We're very lucky to have Phil as part of the board too. He's our videographer, and he's busy with Bob and Vine Monday right now on a project. So everyone's very busy in all their areas. But for this year and into next year, will be the outdoor interpretive center will be our main focus.
And that's the Japanese Legacy grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, through that.
Great. Well, I look forward to seeing those 2 reports coming soon.
While I'm standing here, I can throw on another hat for Forest Glen.
Oh, great. Okay.
So we're just doing some staffing changes right now. We've just hired a new administrative secretary, as our past one has also been helping in the kitchen, wearing 2 hats for us, which has been very consuming. During COVID, a lot of regulations took a lot more admin time, and it was increased many hours and challenges for the building. But and we're doing some building upgrades right now. We're putting some new carpeting in. We've had a couple people leave us, so we've done lots of updates in the rooms there as well. So, and also, I guess just a shout out too, if there's any seniors watching or anyone interested in the living, there are applications that you can get at Forest Glen. You can put in an application form if someone wants. It is a seniors living area, right? So, and I should have brought my glasses over. And just a few new policies and admin stuff we've been working on as a team, smoking and parking and things you wouldn't think of that you'd have to deal with. But yeah,
that are issues.
That there are things that come up, I guess. Like you don't think that we need to, scooter parking, right? Oh, we have to have scooter parking and how many scooters, and then they have to be able to plug in and stay warm and dry, or, or parking, who gets to park where, and then handicap parking and what. Yeah, there's lots of regulations sometimes to follow with the seniors building, but yeah. And again, we are short on board members on that team too, if anyone's interested in that. Our AGM is November the 26th for Forest Glen. I don't have the time on me right now.
And where is the AGM?
I think it's at Forest Glen this year. Last year was online, so hoping to have an in-person one, but I need to confirm that for sure.
Right. And so it sounds like you need some help in the kitchen?
No, we are okay in the kitchen. We have 2 people working.
You just mentioned that your administrator is spending some time there.
That's where they're staying, so we've hired a new administrator.
Okay, got it. Okay, excellent. Any questions from council? No? Well, thanks for your update, Barb.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right, I think, I know the Whale Festival's online. Are there any other societies online? Miss McCullough?
We just have the Pacific Rim Whale Festival, and I'm just promoting to a panelist here. So we have, I believe, Sarah Watts.
Yes.
Whenever you're ready, Sarah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. I'm actually just going to share my screen. Alrighty. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Sweet. Okay, well, thank you for having me on last minute. My name is Sarah. I'm the Well Festival coordinator, and I'm joining you from Ucluelet territory. So yeah, Wellfest is back for its 36th annual festival, March 16th to the 24th. Plans are already underway. But first up, we do have our AGM on the November the 22nd. That's on Wednesday from 7 p.m. That's at the Ucluelet Community Center. Please come and say hi, meet the board, hear our updates, and I'll be hanging around after to chat with anyone that wishes to share thoughts and ideas. There will be refreshments provided. And we are recruiting for our board. We currently have 6 members strong, and 4 of those have been with the board for 3 years or more, which is awesome. I am the only paid person at Wellfest, but last year and this year we will continue to open up more like short-term contracts for members of our community to support them as they support us, which really helps with the workload, and I think is great to be able to offer casual work opportunities for the community during off-season. But yeah, for the AGM, for the board, we are always open for some fresh input, and applications are open on our website. Even though it states the deadline is already passed, we're always open to welcoming people who can bring skills to the team. And rest assured, we have mastered the skill of keeping our board meetings to 1 hour or less once a month. If you want to join the board, reach out or come see us at our AGM on the 22nd. Also, we do have our deadline coming up for our poster art competition. It is tomorrow, but there is still time though to send a resume and a sample of your artwork before we decide on this year's poster artists. So if you know of anyone, just get them to shoot something through. That would be amazing. The details can be found on our website. We don't need the final poster version, just a sample of their work and an idea. So for next year, this year, next year, what we're looking for, we are currently cleaning out our storage. We will be selling and donating items at Tofino's Garage community sale this Sunday. If there is anything that any of the organizations need in town, just shoot me an email and perhaps we might have it in our storage and we'll be able to donate it to you. We're trying to free up some space. We do want to share, repurpose, and reuse what we have. So we do need some local artists who can give a splash of paint and artistic direction to our signs. So we can have more signs around town. We do have some canvases and paint to use. And to create projects for our children at our Kids Day, as we do have lots of arts and crafts supplies like stashed away. And there's also opportunities for a short-term contract for a social media coordinator, the bulk of it being during the festival, but also leading up to it. If you know of anyone who would like to help out art-wise, it'd be great to hear from them. And we do have some funding available. We're back 16th to the 24th. Of March next year. We do want to focus more efforts on movies and educational talks in Ucluelet this year. That was one of the feedbacks we did have. Other exciting events, we did secure a grant from the Aquarium Biosphere Trust under their youth grants, which will give youth the opportunity to get out on the water and learn photography skills and how this can contribute to marine mammal research, such as photo ID. So we're excited to get that going this spring after a delay last year. So that's a new project that's going to be part of the WellFest, as well as bringing back the favorites such as Kids Day, Chowder Chowdown, the Bathing Bash, ocean-themed arts and crafts, Parade of Wells and Wonder, and the Tug-A-Well and Beach Clean. So just to end on saying, please reach out to me on info@pacificrimwellfestival.com. If you can think of any ways in which you want to partner up for the Well Festival as a way to promote your organization. All of our events were full capacity last year, which was amazing, and we received excellent feedback from organizations such as the Wild Pacific Trail on the engagement they received during Well Festival. We've already got new partnerships underway with organizations outside of the West Coast to bring different educational elements to the festival. Whether it's through art, music, culture, science, if you want to get involved and partner up, reach out. The calendar is filling up already, but do stay tuned on our website and social medias for updates and dates to be released. And thank you for the continued support. And if you've got any questions, shoot away.
Thanks, Sarah. Any questions from council? Quiet group tonight. Thanks for the update, and we'll see you at the AGM.
Thank you.
Okay. We have one verbal report item today, 5.1, grant in aid and in-kind contributions from the Director of Parks and Recreation.
Thank you. Through the mayor. I'll be quick. It's a bit of information for council as well as our groups or societies. So thank you, societies, for presenting. We do have a grants and aid program, and I just wanted to run through a couple things really quickly with everybody so everybody's hearing the same thing. And by all means, reach out to me if you have more questions or you would like some more information. So the policy statement, and I also, Barb, if you could maybe just point out, I put the policy statement and the forms on the back table as well. So if you're more than welcome to grab if you want. Thank you, Barb. Thank you, Vanna. on the back table if you want to grab them. But as I said, please feel free to reach out and chat with me. So the policy statement is the District of Ucluelet provides grants and aids to financially assist community groups, not-for-profit societies and organizations for a specific project. Council also provides in-kind contributions towards rentals and lease of facilities owned and operated by the district. It is recognition that these organizations are providing a valuable service for the district with providing a community focus. So some of the big criteria are the not-for-profit organizations, which we've been seeing this evening. Projects must be within 12 months of the grant, and the preference will be given to organizations within Ucluelet. Some of the ineligibles are sporting organizations, commercial organizations, and individuals as well. There's more, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of things as well. So I'm going to give you some key dates. So the key dates are December 15th. The applications must be in by December 15th. And the other big key date is if you've had a grant for this year for 2023, I need to see your summary by February 28th. Otherwise, you're ineligible for 2024. So if you have questions regarding that, please let me know and I can give you a bit of a former outline. The other thing I just wanted to point out is for 2024, Council has set aside up to $21,000 for everybody. So don't ask for $25,000 because it won't work. So it's really it's special projects that the organizations are interested in doing, and just be cognizant of the fact that all the projects have to be under $21,000 for council. And then we do have, obviously, space. We've done a lot of spaces you have been hearing throughout the afternoon. We do have a lot of space that we actually do as well. And that I just wanted to give a brief update, primarily looking at dates that are upcoming. So the big date is December 15th, and all the information is found online under the finance. Ms. McCullough, that's correct?
Yes, ucluelet.ca/finance, and then you'll see grants in aid. So it's pretty easy to remember. ucluelet.ca/finance.
And I think everybody knows where to find me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Fortune. Any questions from council?
I just want to confirm. So if somebody wants like an in-kind like room for the chow down, if you're the group doing that is also due by December 15th, right?
That's
all the
correct.
kind as well as the actual money asks.
Yes, that is correct. And if people are unsure of what the costing on that is, they can also always reach out to the Recreation Department and we can get you that information for space and rental along that line.
All right, no other questions. Any notices of motion? Seeing none, we'll move into question period. This is an opportunity for the public to ask questions about matters within council's jurisdiction. Representations about matters that have been the subject of a public hearing are not permitted at this time. Are there any questions from the audience? Ms. McCullough, are there any questions by Zoom or telephone?
Anybody attending by Zoom, if you have a question, if you could just hit the raise your hand icon. There's no questions.
No questions. And have we received any questions by email to communityinput@ucluelet.ca?
I'm just refreshing the page here. And there are no questions by email.
Okay. This Committee of the Whole meeting is adjourned at 5:50 on November 14th, 2023.